Here we have an Asus laptop model number G814 that came in for repair. That's how the laptop looks like. And we did not remove the motherboard of the housing because most Asus laptops I'm able to figure out the problem just by working on the surface. If I feel the need, we can remove the motherboard and check the back. Let's read what the customer wrote. Laptop will not power on nor post. DC jack is good. 20 volt power is detectable on motherboard. No battery light when plugged in. No battery light when plugged in could be an indication of a short circuit. And we are the kings of short circuits, right? 80% of Asus laptops that we fix fail because of a short circuit. So this one is one of the blue boards. Asus, they have the red boards, they have the black boards, and they have the blue boards. They also have green boards, but not as common. We're gonna jump over to the DC jack. That's where you plug in the charger. I'm not gonna plug in a charger now. Customer said no light, so if there's a short circuit, I do not wanna inject 20 volts. Even though the charger will shut itself off if there's a short circuit, but I do not wanna plug in the charger before testing. Let's go ahead and measure. We wanna make sure the battery is not connected on the motherboard. Right, so the first thing we wanna do is detach the battery. Right here. And now we're gonna go to the DC jack and we wanna look for the two power MOSFETs right here. We wanna measure for a short on the second MOSFET, or we can do it at the current sense resistor, the R005. Let's do it at the current sense resistor and see if we have a short circuit. If we do, then hopefully we can consider this laptop fixed. Measure right here. Yes. We have a 0.001 voltage drop. Great, that's good news. Short circuit is good news. We're gonna turn on our voltage injection tool, the NorthridgeFix NF.short voltage injection tool. If you're in the same type of business or you are doing this as a hobby, you can purchase the NF.short off our website along with all the tools that we use on our bench here. We carry everything from Flux, braid wick, soldering stations, hot air stations, thermal cameras, anti-glare light, voltage injection tool, power supply, whatever you need, one-stop shop. Log in, add to cart, checkout, pay, and we almost always ship out same day. If you have ordered from us before, you know how fast we ship. And now I have the voltage injection tool on. Let's go ahead and inject voltage. We're gonna inject voltage right here. Since that's where we measured for a short, we can also inject voltage here. And we're gonna check the board under a thermal camera and see what gets hot. Okay. Oh, I see something right there. Something right over here. What's here? Our SSD drive is here. Let me inject voltage one more time. Something is getting hot under our SSD drive. So we're gonna have to remove the SSD and check what's under. Probably a shorted capacitor. Something is getting hot under. Okay. Okay, so right here. I'm pointing to the first capacitor from the bottom. I see two of them. Okay. I'm pointing to this guy right here, but it could very well be the one on top. They are so close, and the heat generated by either one is gonna spread around. Those components are tiny, so it could be this, or it could be this. I highly doubt that it's this. Capacitors fail. So since my probe was pointing here, based on the heat spot that I saw, let's go ahead and start with this one. One thing we can also do is we can use our atomizer, spread some rosin flux over the caps, inject voltage, and see where flux melts first. We can also try the alcohol method, even though it's not very effective because alcohol evaporates quick and it's clear. But let's go ahead and try it and see if we can make use of isopropyl. If it doesn't work, just for the sake of the video, we can use our atomizer. Right now, I do not need to use anything. I can just remove the bottom one. If the short is still there, I'll remove the top one. It only takes me a few seconds. But just for the sake of the video, let's try the alcohol method. See? Now the alcohol method will work if heat is excessive. If there's a lot of heat, then the alcohol method will work. But when you have minimal heat, alcohol will not work. Look, the problem is this guy right here, because alcohol evaporated all around the capacitor, but we still have alcohol on the top cap. One more time, I'm gonna keep dumping alcohol while I inject voltage. Watch. The bottom cap will lose all the alcohol, and the top one, we still have alcohol around the capacitor. So the problem is this guy right here. We got it. I told you we are the kings of short circuits, right? Let's be humble here. No. Humble is for the weak. Let's apply hot air. Out. Let's keep the capacitor on the side. We can also measure it to confirm that the cap is shorted. I do not do this off camera, but I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. Look at this. When I flip the cap, we do see a burn on the bottom of the cap. See? The cap is shorting out. That cap tried to escape. I mean, we're gonna send them to the 9th dimension anyway, so we got it. Now, I believe this is a 10 microfarad capacitor. But what we can do is we can desolder the cap and we can use our LCR meter to measure it. A lot of times viewers ask, how do you know the value of the capacitor? Because I measured it before, that's how I know the value. For this one here, I have not measured one before, so let's put it on one side just so we can keep it on the board. And now we can use our LCR meter, but before we do, let's cool down the cap, because a lot of heat on the cap can result in reading the wrong value. Now we're going to use our LCR meter to measure the capacitance of that capacitor. And we have 10 microfarads. I'm reading 9.36. Right, so here we have 10 microfarad capacitors rated for 60 volts. You can also purchase those off our website. A very common failing point on laptops. We do carry 1206 and size 805. Right, so we're going to use the NorthridgeFix brush, isopropyl, anything 91% or above, and Amtech wipes. We do not sell isopropyl. You can buy it from your local shop or online, but we do carry the brush and Amtech wipes. We're gonna put the hard drive back, the SSD drive, and hopefully we have a fix. Battery is connected. Now we do not have the heatsink on the board, so I do not know if we're gonna be able to turn the laptop on. You know what I think? Let's reassemble the heatsink and then we can try the laptop. Big Boss reassembled the heatsink right here, and the short that we fixed is right under the SSD drive. Let's go ahead and try it. Now, I told Big Boss not to test it, so we can do it on camera for the adrenaline. So the battery is connected. Let's go ahead and push the power button. And surprisingly, nothing. It's not surprisingly, the battery is probably dead. So we're gonna have to plug the charging cable, and hopefully we have something. Do we have a charging light? Yes, we do have a charging light. Right there, the orange one. That's a good sign. Press the power button. Wow, awesome. We do see lights. The keyboard is lit. We want to see an image on the screen. Yes, yes. Wow. Awesome. Okay, so one tiny capacitor just prevented the whole laptop from powering on. Very common with Asus laptops. I have loads and loads of videos working on Asus laptops where the problem was a shorted capacitor or a DR MOSFET or a MOSFET. But what can you do? Let me shut off. Let me shut down. Shut it down. And we are done. Amazing. That was an awesome repair. All right, that's it. We're gonna end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Leave it down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video. I'm gonna hand it to Big Boss so he can put the back cover, the speaker, invoice, and mail it back to the customer.